The first lesson that, of course, we're doing starts at the beginning of the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 1, and it ends at the end of verse 14. It's a text that I encourage the men to read through 3, 4, 5 or more times per week so that they get a real feel for the flow of it before they come to the group. And the intent is to help them understand the purpose of the text and how everything is integrated in their understanding. We've actually done that study, and it's surprising that the men who read it tend to focus on single concepts that they're familiar with or that they understand, and then they have a tendency to skip over the more difficult verses in the passage and without paying attention to how they really contribute to meaning. The process of outlining is determining the significance of every clause of the text. And so what I did is I created a little booklet that helps them kind of process the meaning of the passage before they come to class. And in the process, then they're understanding, at least getting a focus with my help on what's most important in those first 14 verses. Probably in the process of teaching men to outline verses 3 through 14 in the book of Ephesians is the most difficult section of Scripture to dissect. It's the longest sentence in the Greek language in the New Testament. And Paul is really on a flow. I believe it's an inspired flow explaining what God has done to save us. And each man was asked to observe that there's really 3 sections that end with a clause that says to the praise of his glory, or to the praise of the glory of his grace. And those clauses, those little clauses follow his description of the Father's role in salvation, the Son's role in salvation, and then of course the Holy Spirit's role in salvation. And the whole passage then is a passage of praise. When I come to explaining the text and meeting with the men, I actually give them an outline, my outline of the text, which just deals with the verses itself. It's very helpful to go to BibleGateway.com and just make a copy of the passage, and then all you have to do in terms of dissecting it is press returns and subordinate each clause to the sentence that it's really explaining. And then after that, I actually turn this around and I have an explanation of the meaning of the text. These are available to anybody who would ask of me for the outlines, because we're doing the whole book in outline form, and I'm actually teaching them in the process of outlining. I believe the first lesson is the hardest, and I'm hoping at the end of 7 weeks then they will have developed the skill of outlining a text. This accomplishes what the Apostle Paul instructed Timothy to do, is to prove himself a workman who accurately interprets the Word of God.